Business spending can be very tricky, especially when it comes to trying to figure out what you've actually invested in. Is it an asset or is it a liability? Will it mitigate risk or will it actually bring new risk potentially on the business as you are trying to grow? One question that you can ask yourself as a go, no go gauge going forward, and this includes service providers, not just physical equipment assets. Am I paying for answers or am I paying for systems? When you ask yourself this question,
Please don't tell her I'm asking this. What kind of asset should I have?
it should give you pause to think about, am I getting something that I can use once? Or am I getting something that is now systematized in the business that becomes an asset? If you're getting something once, it's not a system.
Was I supposed to know this? I didn't know this. Is this a thing? It's a thing. People know about this. Is this public information?
If you have hired a service provider and there's something that you want to templatize in the business, something that you want to have repeated again and again in the growth of the business, it should be reflected in a system versus an answer. That way, as the business grows and the answer is going to be reflected slightly different through different chapters of your growth, you can use that system and modify it for your growth. When the service provider moves on, do I have an asset that is left with me, or am I left only with an answer that they've provided me to this unique stage of growth? As a business owner, you need to give yourself the longest runway between every dollar earned. How do you do that when spending business funds can sometimes leave you uncertain whether you've just purchased something that is going to become a liability or whether you've just invested in something that is going to help you grow the business? Ask yourself this one question as a go, no go gauge and quickly learn whether you have just mitigated risk with your purchase or whether you have just spent money on something that can potentially bring you more risk in the future. The question is, am I paying for answers that are a one-time event, or am I paying for systems that can be templatized and act as assets for the business? What you want to ensure is that every dollar you spend is going towards a system that can turn into assets that can be repurposed again and again and retailored to each stage of growth. An answer, when you pay for it, is something that you get once that is associated with that particular stage of growth.
I didn't know anything about this. Nobody told me anything about this. I didn't hear anything about the systems or the assets.
So, as a go, no go gauge going forward, to make sure that every dollar you spend will have the longest runway in your organization, ask yourself, is this something that I'm paying for that will give me one answer in this unique stage of my growth? Or is this a system that I'm paying for that I can templatize and turn into an asset and apply to future stages of growth?
Is this a thing? This is really public information, though. I didn't hear a thing about it.